Hello and welcome. My name is Mata and this is This Year on Hearthstone. Whew, 2020. What a year for Hearthstone, right? Filled with battle cries and death rattles, nerfs and buffs, ups and downs in general. Mostly downs. We said goodbye to a lot of familiar Hearthstone faces this year. The Hearthstone mascot, our lovely Shiro, has suddenly passed away in May. Lead game director Dina Ayala, also known as Ixar, quit Blizzard. And we lost a lot of content creators who switched to games such as Marvel Snap, Teamfight Tactics, even Fortnite, especially Zero Build Mode. You know who I'm talking about. And last but certainly not least, we lost our beloved Garrosh this year. May his soul rest in peace.
Come here. I know you get upset. Come on. Hey, that's all.
You donkey!
But on the bright side, we also said hello to a lot of new stuff, like runestones. More on that later on. We started the year of the Hydra with the underwater expansion Voyage to the Sunken City. Not to be confused with the Serbian rapper's newest album. New dredge mechanic and the new cool colossal minions were a great addition to the game, and people really liked it. Next up we got the vampire-themed murder mystery expansion, Murder at the Castle Natria. Sorry for that Dracula impression. With the new Infuse cards and the one and only Sire the Nathrius, which was run in almost every class because it was absolutely flavorful and something that we've never seen before. But, most importantly, a fair and a balanced card. Oh. What? I'm talking about the wrong card? What the fuck is Prince Renathal? Oh, that overpowered piece of garbage that warped the meta and stretched the game. Yeah, of course I'm glad it got nerfed. So that Blizzard's precious Chinese players can play shorter games on their mobile devices and enjoy their brain-dead aggro decks while going to school or work. Oh, wait a second. Blizzard didn't renew the contract with their Chinese internet provider so that Chinese players can no longer play the game. Well, that's kinda inconvenient. Lastly, in December, as a Christmas present, we got ourselves a brand new Hearthstone class, Death Knight, which was an absolute thrill to play and test the new rune system and the brand new undead cards. The class was an absolute joy to play, and its win rate was not too shabby as well. In Arena, that is. And of course, alongside DK came the new March of the Lich King expansion, which, in my opinion, should have been released in March, cause, you know, March of the Lich King? In March? Eh? The Hearthstone team also started pumping out a lot of new cosmetics this year, especially the beautiful hero portraits. We got, brace yourselves, Spark Spinner Nemzi, Diver Nemzi, Winter's Little Helper Nemzi, Feast Nemzi, Scullery Nemzi, Mascot Nemzi, Sparkle Guardian Nemzi, and of course, last but not least, Noodle Nemzi. Of course, for all those beautiful Nemzi skins, we were required to give Blizzard some of our money, so the good guys at Blizzard implemented runestones. So now, instead of buying with real money and buying with gold, we got more options. Buying with real money or buying with real money. Very cool. Speaking of money, the new esports plan for 2023 came out recently and players weren't too thrilled about it, to say the least. Less money, less people competing on the Masters tours, but hell of a more grinding for that 8 spots to Worlds. Grinding for months for that top legend ranks. Reminds me a lot of that Sisyphus myth. Doesn't sound too promising, but hey, at least they didn't shut down the complete esports system, right? But what about the other plentiful Hearthstone modes, you may ask? Wild seemed like a wasteland and a card dump, which couldn't be saved. But recently, the game mode's lead designer announced some drastic changes to the mode, some of which have already been implemented by the time you're watching. Now, instead of dying on turns 4 and 5, you can now reliably die on turns 6 and 7. Also, these changes could potentially mean the return of the long-awaited Wild Opens and perhaps some more Wild tournaments in the future. Battlegrounds went through a real roller coaster of emotions this year. First off, we lost the bodies and got a new tribe, Nagas, which were, as usual, absolutely broken. Then we got probably the biggest and the coolest update since the introduction of BGs. Quests. They made the game much more interesting, enabled more strategies, made a lot of bad heroes better, and they were a lot of fun. Of course, it was too good to be true, so they decided to make the mode pay to win, with the new rewards track and the 4-hero option locked behind the paywall. Runestones or real money, it's your choice really. But hey, at least the quests were staying, right? Well, 4 months later they removed them and added undeads, which were, as any other new tribe, absolutely broken. On the other hand, they just announced that the bodies are coming back again, so maybe we can be optimistic about the new meta again? That's the spirit. And what about duels? Well, Hearthstone Duels is a game mode that arena players actually got something that they can be happy about. Instead of the set rotations every couple of months and the already seen dual class Halloween thingy, they got their own arena leaderboards. Now they can be even more annoyed when their opponent discovers some random bullshit, especially during the current standard rotation where every second card is a discover one, and you face stuff like this on 0-2. It is not my screenshot, I swear. Maybe now they can get their main menu spot back from some game modes that perhaps don't deserve to be there anymore. Speaking of game modes that are not worthy of the main menu spot anymore, Hearthstone Mercenaries. They got their biggest and most exciting update in the recent patch since their release a year and a half ago. No, I'm not talking about the new Mercenaries to play as, or the new solo content, or a possible PvP update. I'm talking about the announcement of no more updates and the start of the maintenance mode. But okay, I'm sure that the whole HS community is deeply saddened and can share the pain of all the 7 players that play this mode, especially the ones that were most loyal to it, like the masters of the PvP who reached really impressive numbers on the MMR leaderboards, like Jared and Jerry and Tom. Okay, Tom is lagging a little bit behind, but he has an impressive score nonetheless. Yeah? Uh-huh. Oh, they're not real people. Oh, well, that's awkward. Speaking of non-existent people, the most forgotten and irrelevant Hearthstone mode. Hearthstone Classic, everybody. I will have to vacuum this shit later. The mode still hasn't received any updates since its release in 2021. Instead of adding some more old expansions like Naxxramas or Blackrock Mountain, or perhaps changing the mode from the scratch and making it like a rotating format or something, it's exactly in the same stage as it released. And even though the meta has aged like a fine milk, some players are still achieving very impressive results. We have Eveovgi and his impressive skills on Zoo Warlock, Zdrkfm, also an amazing Zulok player. We have Usilkuj, an amazing player who knows everything about Zoo Warlock. And of course we cannot forget about Iofbsk Abk. Allo. Yeah? Uh-huh. No. They're bots as well? Why are we not reporting them then? Oh, there's a new report button. But it's not doing anything. Well, with all those wonderful news mentioned, I must quote a sentence a very wise person once said. These changes will cement Hearthstone for the next decade, for new, returning, and veteran players. And that was it for this year on Hearthstone. Thank you for watching, leave a like, and maybe next year we'll be able to, I don't know, maybe afford a green screen or something. But yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you next year on This Year on Hearthstone. Thank you, and good night. Are you done with the outro? No?